Okay, once again, hopefully that's working. Need to figure out a better way of doing this, I think. Doesn't appear. Not sure if it's going or not. Okay, there it is. It just had a bit of a buffering time. Hello everyone and welcome back. We're back on Hubbard, Nebraska, as has been the case for the last few days. And I need to find myself. Here I am, finally in my own house. I own a lot of different farmhouses on this map, and it just puts me at random spots sometimes when I load in. But I think I've sold all the other houses now, so... yeah, for today, we're going to be finishing up the harvest. We started yesterday. Spent 2.5 hours on stream, and that's how much of the field I got done, which is absolutely bonkers. So let's just go ahead and get this guy started up. And he'll be working on a worker, or running on a worker. Also got my Alice 7080. Little small for the auger cart. Here's my 7810 John Deere with the Heston baler. Did finish baling the other field. Field, what, 160? Is that what it is? Yep, right here. Got all the bales off that one. Now I got to do 155. Much smaller, should go much quicker. While I'm harvesting 126. So let's go ahead, fire this thing up, and get going. May want to look at getting some much larger equipment in the near future, but of course the problem is you gotta make money for that. And money is something I just don't have right now. I've got 67 grand. But I need to get a plow and a tractor, which... yeah, tractor I'm looking at right now is it's a bigger Alice Chalmers, because mine is just too small. So, this is probably the spec I do. Straight pipe, big, chunky, single tires. $137,000. And I have to get a plow, which... let's see which one I would get. Probably get this one. Because I don't have enough horsepower for the bigger Kverneland, and I don't really want to have a mount on the back plow. I'd rather have a wheeled or trailed plow. I'm not sure exactly what the word is for that. This map is a 16x map, which means it is 64 times the size of a normal one, as I've said the last couple of days. If you've missed those live streams and want to catch back up while you're doing something else, feel free to check out the live section on my channel. You'll be able to catch them. But as it is 64 times the size of a normal map, the fields are absolutely massive. And my equipment is not massive. I definitely started out with the intention of seeing if a 16x map was able to be played by a solo player, and I think I'm doing research still. I'm still in the research gathering stage. It's been a while. I've been playing for quite a bit, but yeah, I haven't even gotten through a year yet, so I just want to see kind of what it'll be like. Be cool to see how much money we get from all these fields, though. This is an absolutely massive field of beans. And even though, like, compared to the rest of the fields on the map, it's not really that big. Like, there are some much, much larger fields on the map. But I want to gradually work up to bigger equipment by then. So hopefully when I have those big fields, I can be running a couple big harvesters with 50 or 60 foot headers, you know, big air seeders, everything. I wanted to start small and grow up because that's the aspect of the game I love the most. I would very much like to have the soybean harvest done today, and we can work on maybe getting corn started, or, you know, maybe not. We'll see. But I got to keep in mind, I do have to flip these fields and get them planted up at some point too. I need to plant wheat, like now is the time to be planting wheat, so I'll probably put wheat on this field here. Gosh, do I really want to put wheat here? That'd be crazy. I think I'll do wheat. The problem with these big fields is it makes me want to put really low yielding crops, like soybeans is probably one of the lowest yielding crops in the game. So when you put soybeans on a really big field like this, you'll still make pretty decent money on it because it's low yielding and it pays pretty well per bushel. So when you put a low yielding crop on a big field like this, you can just leave the harvester to go. It can go further before it needs to fill up, before it needs to unload in a trailer, which means that you've got more time to be doing other things before you have to get the trailer and unload the combine. Which also means the auger wagon will fill up less quickly, so you don't have to take as many trips of the semi back into town or wherever you're storing your grain or selling it. So it's a much more hands-off approach. Plus, with soybeans, I don't drop soybean straw, so it's really just harvesting a high-paying crop and not doing anything else. Wheat it yields much higher, and you've got straw you've got to deal with too, so it's kind of twofold. It's a bigger deal to harvest that. Welcome in. Today we are doing soybean harvest, if you can't tell, on a huge map, and it's testing the limits for sure. Spent 2.5 hours yesterday harvesting, and I really didn't get that much done. I was driving on the roads for probably about 35-40 minutes just to get all the equipment down here from my farm. And then, yeah, with how big these fields are and how small my equipment is, it takes a while to get anything done. Good news about big fields, though, is you make a lot of money when you're finally all said and done. I've already got 2 truckloads of soybeans, and they're worth around 6,000 per 1,000 liters. So each liter is worth about $6, which means if I got 66,000 liters, that means I'll be picking up around $380,000 already from the amount we've done. So could be looking at a $500,000 field, maybe even $750,000 or $1 million, which I will be fully transparent. I'm playing on easy economy difficulty, and I even have a mod that about doubles the price of crops, so I'll make about double what I normally would. The reason I do that is because I am the type of guy to get tired of doing something if it's not progressing fast enough, and I've always found that what's it called, Harvest Profits or Profitable Harvest or something, that mod, it makes the progression feel right for me. Doesn't really matter because I haven't sold anything yet in this this map. This is day 3 of me playing this game on this map, and I'm still breaking in the first harvest. Done about 8 hours of gameplay already. Much of that was setting it up, though. I figure I'll do just one full harvest load, and then get in the Alice, unload on the go, and then, yeah, hire a worker up and get back to baling straw, because I've got a lot of that to do. I've got to bale all the straw, then I got to pick up the bales, put them on the trailer, and take them in to sell. And they're currently looking like they'll pay pretty well when I sell them, so I'm definitely excited for that. And until I can get a lot more of y'all in here while I'm streaming, there tends to be long periods of time without people chatting or, you know, without me having anything to say, so I'd really like to get some music or something at some point. Keep kind of tide over the silence, but I'm pretty good at talking to myself, so I definitely do that quite a bit. There's just something relaxing about humongous fields that's really nice. If this wasn't super loud, I could zoom in a little farther, be right up there on the combine, and just tune my brain off and just harvest. Really satisfying. I think planting's even better. It's my favorite thing to do. Right now, I've been really enjoying baling straw as well. I should take a contract or something. Actually, that reminds me, I'm going to check the contracts out. What do we got for harvesting? $68,000. And then a bunch of fertilizer contracts. As this map is a Nebraska map, everything is corn and soybeans. Like, every single field is corn or soybeans, or it's been harvested. I made these wheat. And I am trying to play semi-realistic. I did look up the Department of Agriculture report for 2023 in Nebraska, and it did confirm that they do grow wheat in Nebraska, which I was fairly certain of. I just wanted to be sure. So I would like to grow things that they actually grow in this area and use old equipment. Some of it's much older than others. This harvester, I believe, is a 2012 model. To me, it looks older, but I guess not. And obviously, my honeybee header I've got is quite new and shiny, but I'm doing what I can. Look at that hill. Craziness. I had to get that harvester. Like, there's other options, but I didn't want to go with some tiny thing from the 80s. Like, this is already small enough for me, and it's, I mean, it's going to take forever to harvest. It has been taking forever. It's crazy. Nice fresh unload on the go. Reminds me of all the neck pains I've gone through when doing this in real life. Unlike my grandpa's fields that I was working in, this one's, the hills are pretty intense. They'll get the tractor to speed up. Constantly looking back over your shoulder, then looking down to the right to make sure your spacing's pretty good, looking forward to make sure you're not going to hit anything, and then turning your head all the way back over your shoulder to check on the flow of grain into there. Alright, pretty good there. Okay, let's get to the baling. Make sure it's still on the biggest bale size, 240 centimeters. And we did end up with rats. It's got to save. I'm trying to remember what the total amount of bales we got from the other one was. I think I checked the amount of like liters on the bales, but I forgot to check the actual number of bales we made. Huge maps take a while to save, autosave. But if they don't autosave, it's inevitable it'll crash. 75 bales, by the way. And if the map crashes, I will be very sad. Lose all my progress. Unload the baler. This baler sounds pretty good. I like it. It can go much faster than 6. I think it goes like 11 nearly, but that feels way too fast to me. I much prefer 6, which is probably a little too fast even. I haven't done a lot of baling in my time, but this feels good. I like this pace. Just the little clacks and whirring and beeps and stuff this baler makes is definitely one of my favorite balers in the game. It's got an issue where the bales it makes are different than normal size. They're Heston bales. The problem with it is the forks, the bale spike, sometimes sticks to the bales. They're not great in that regard. So it's pretty tough to get the bales off the fork sometimes. That's the only real issue I have with these bales. So if that was, you know, not a problem, then I would say this is my favorite baler in the game. But yeah, that's just too big of a problem to ignore. It's really, really fun to make the bales, but it's kind of annoying sometimes to have to pick them all up. Hopefully these don't leave the bales too much in my way and be a nuisance, but I think it'll be fine. I can just turn out of the way if I need to. Tell you what, in a few days, because this map's so big, it'll take a few days to finish harvest. It'll be really nice to get a nice fat paycheck. I'm going to put it towards definitely bigger equipment, more land, and some cattle. Probably not much bigger equipment, just a little bit. But if I want to plant wheat like the time is now, I don't think I can plant in spring. Yeah, I've got to plant my wheat now. They do grow some oats in Nebraska, so I could do March or April. Whoops. Could do March or April if I need to. And of course I could do some alfalfa. I think the only fields that I'd do alfalfa in would be like 159, this absolute tiny field here, and then 158. I painted on grass over the top of it because it was really tiny and irregularly shaped. I was like, I don't want to farm any corn on that. The thing's tiny. It's right next to my farmyard. But once I get a plow, I could maybe plow up some area around my farmyard and grow some alfalfa there or something for the cattle when we get it. Okay, so with these ones, since my headland is right on the edges, I'm going to turn and go up and down the field. We'll just leave that for later. Make sure my helper's doing just fine. Yep, 35%. He is doing just fine. In fact, that seems really low. I wonder if he got stuck turning around for a little bit. which is, you know, a little unfortunate. I've been paying him as he sits stuck at a tree. Not the best use of my money, is it? My mind is crazy, bro. I'm still finishing harvesting bales from the wheat harvest. I'm still not very far into the soybean harvest. And I still have to harvest corn, but I'm already thinking about plowing up the fields and what I'm going to put on them next. Like, it's still literally days away from it being the case where I have to actually do that stuff. But I'm already trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, hopefully with this map being so big, I can learn to just sit back and chill. That's what I'm trying to do anyways. Hopefully my chair isn't too squeaky. I don't know what it is about this map, but I haven't gotten that super annoying line across like the bottom quarter of my screen where the stuff doesn't render in properly. It's actually like, it's the circle, which is what it's supposed to be. I wish the circle wasn't here. You know, I've got a circle of highly definition, like, I don't know, highly rendered crop, and then after that it's a little less good, and then there's a much bigger circle where it doesn't even render the stubble in at all. And it barely renders in the straw. You know, you can see there's kind of 3 levels. Down there at the bottom where the bale's pooping out the baler is really good, and then between that and the far edge, it's decent. It'd be nice to have a computer that could have it really high quality as far as the eye can see, but, you know, take what you can get. But on most maps, or when I'm trying to, like, turn the graphics way up, because I had to turn them down for this map, it's so big. When I have the graphics turned up, I get this weird line across the bottom of my screen. And it's super annoying and frustrating, especially when I'm trying to record. Welcome in, man. How's it going? Just harvesting some soybeans with my combine here on a worker and baling straw. Having a grand old time. Chilling on Hubbard, Nebraska. Absolutely massive map. And I'm trying to go a little older to start with. And we'll work our way up to some nice, shiny new equipment in a few years. I'm not sure if that's in-game years or real-life years at this pace. Spent 2.5 hours last night harvesting soybeans to get maybe a third of the field done, which is bonkers. Rocking my John Deere 7810. Really nice tractor with a really nice baler on the back that makes all these cool noises that I love. Only problem with it is the bales get stuck sometimes. In the forks of the tractor, that is. After this massive soybean harvest, I can get towards the corn harvest, which will also take probably much longer than the straw or the soybeans, because the cornfield may not be larger. It may be larger, but I don't think it is. It's corn. It yields a lot higher. Plus, it's fertilized, whereas the soybean field is not, so. The soybeans, I'm literally getting about as low of yield as you can possibly get. But the corn is going to be a lot higher. And since it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to drive my semi from the... It takes probably 10 plus minutes, actually, to drive my semi from the field to the farm to drop off the grain and then right back. The more trips I have to take, the longer it'll take to do the field. Excuse me. Loving these custom crop textures. I've been looking for another map that's got them. I used to play on, oh, what was it? Hannah, Indiana, I believe. Good old farm sim guy put out a series on Hannah, Indiana, and I thought it looked pretty dope, so I hopped on the map and did a little series of my own. It had custom crops and looked pretty cool. The way the man, sorry for the stuttering. The way the crops are like bunched up together all nice and tight looks a lot better than the base game in my opinion. Maybe I ought to have a view count somewhere on my screen so y'all can understand why I stop talking when it's down to 1 or 2. Sometimes I don't talk as much. Maybe I should just not talk much at all. Make it more of an ASMR thing. But I gotta keep myself entertained somehow, you know? We'll get those numbers up in time. What do y'all think about Loma, Montana? Started recording one series on it and then stopped because much like this map, my equipment was much too small, the map was much too big. So I started recording another series and spent 2 hours every day after work recording for the whole week. Didn't even get one episode done because, you know, once again, I was trying to do too much with too small of equipment in a different way. My equipment was much larger, but I also picked much larger fields, so that didn't necessarily make sense. I kind of wish I'd stuck it out now. Kind of wish I'd have put that episode out. I've got it done. I've started editing, spent like an hour and a half editing it, but didn't get it done. So I turned to live streaming, because hopefully that will allow me to put out more content. I just cannot spend 3 hours a day recording and get one episode a week. That just doesn't do well enough to support that. And sometimes I really enjoy the production side of things, right? Making a high quality video, having to put some thought into it. But other times I don't. I just love playing the game, and it's tough to sit down and put the energy into editing when all I want to do is just play and record more. Well, then eventually my recordings pile away up and I get a little overwhelmed and don't want to start editing. That's when I take like a week or two break and then, you know, get back into it. My problem right now is I don't have editing software that's proper for what I want. I could probably find something, but I just haven't really been impressed with very many free softwares. I've almost babbled my entire way through this whole field in one sitting. But now I've got to pay attention to my harvester here. So we'll get him turned around and then grab the Alice. And get cooking. No, brakes, brakes, brakes. May not look like it, but these hills are huge. Super tall. Super steep. Compared to other farming simulator maps. So, yeah, it's tough to get stopped sometimes. Right, this will fill up the Alice, so I'll hop in the harvester, get it going whenever it's done unloading, and then, yeah, get it back on its worker, and I'll unload into the semi. Starting out, I had the smaller engine in this harvester, of course, but these hills made it go down to like 0 miles an hour sometimes, or 1 mile an hour. And that's just, I can't do that, man. I can't sit here and go 1 mile an hour. So it'll take me 20 minutes to get up to the top of the field. That's just not, that's not okay. So I put the bigger engine in. But that bigger engine, I put too big of a bigger engine in. So now I should probably have a bigger header. I could easily have a bigger header because it barely slows down anymore. It's 30 foot right now. I could probably get a 35 footer. Which, if we look at the difference in size for meters, it's 9.1 to 11 meters. So, you know, it adds up. Take a drink of my tea, and then we'll get to unloading. That's what all the little sounds you can hear in the background are. I apologize. I am not in a soundproofed studio. Man, those fields are just so big. Off to the right, that's one of the biggest in the map. It might be the biggest, actually. I need to zoom out and have a look at this. Sorry, I apologize. It takes forever to save. I'm not playing on a supercomputer, I'm playing on a laptop, and this map is big. 127. 60, or wait, how many acres? 490 acres. We got 465, 413, 404. This may be the biggest map on the field, or biggest field on the map. Psh, what am I talking about, bro? I think it is. I don't see anything else. 15's pretty big, 12, no. 413, 404, 465, and 460, sorry, not 490. 460 acres is huge. Biggest field my grandfather has is, well, it's technically 360 acres on one piece of property. He farms it as 2 separate fields because he's got a gravel road that goes down the middle. So he's got basically 180 acres of corn and 180 acres of soybeans on that field. And we spend about a week out there every year for harvest. So if I had a 460 acre field and I were to use the same size equipment that my grandpa uses, go at the same speed, and have the same amount of helpers, it should take me weeks of streaming to get that done. So let's be perfectly clear, I'm not doing that. My harvester goes 6 miles an hour. He goes about 2.5 in corn and maybe 3.5 in the soybean. My harvester goes 6 everywhere, pretty much, unless the field is really steep. Plus, I'm already using almost the same size equipment he's got on a much smaller field. How big is 126? It's 68 acres, so it is literally, what would that be? 9 times. The new field that I was looking at would be 9 times the size of this one. Yeah, no thanks. I ain't doing that unless I had 5 of these harvesters going. And even then, that's crazy, bro. Gotta get me like a big old John Deere X9? Yeah, I was gonna say 9X for some reason. John Deere X9 harvester, 60-foot headers, and have like 3 or 4 of them. That's what I'm doing. We'll get there someday. Bales go crazy, man. How's it going? Not sure if this is the same person that keeps joining and leaving, or a different person every time, but we are harvesting soybeans and baling the straw from the wheat harvest. We're about done with the wheat, though. The wheat harvest, so... When we get the bales done, all the straw harvested or collected, I guess, and put in bales. Obviously, I'll have to clean off the baler and put it away. And we'll have to get all these bales off the field. I've got a bale trailer and another tractor, a Fendt. So we'll get all that off of there. And I'll probably sell those right away. Hopefully, with the profits I make from that, we can buy this tractor. Whoops, that's not the right way. With the straight pipes, that's what I'm looking for. And we're going to get us a nice plow with it, so we can turn these fields over while I'm harvesting. Well, that tractor will be used on our grain cart. I've got another Alice, a smaller Alice, on the grain cart right now. And it's a little too small, so we're going to get something bigger. And that will also be used to plow later on. So far, I've made 95 bales in total, only 20 on this field. The other field had 75. And due to the fact that we have a lot of straw, it won't tell me how much they are. We should make a decent amount of money. I don't have a way to store the straw, so I'm just going to sell it right off the field. But the crops, I have a silo to store it, so I'll definitely be selling those at the most opportune time. Two more passes. Come on, we got this. One more up and one more down. Let's look at that plow I was wanting to get. There she is in all her glory. Not old. I don't know. It's hard to find mods, man. Old plows. I'm trying to keep everything a little older, but again, some of it's not. My pickup truck is from the 50s. It's really old. But then I've got a harvester from 2012 and a bean header from like, I don't know, probably the mid-20 teens as well. I guess we'll get that little hook shape too. I'll get that and then get the big long pass down the field again. Good stuff right there. And of course the worker's almost full. He's also facing the wrong way as of now. So he's probably going to fill up before we get to the top. Just move the Alice into position and probably just take him off the harvester. Well, he might make it to the top, actually. 85%-ish. Of course he fills up when his pipe's over the crop instead of in the open side of the field. Just the nature of the beast. I think it'll make it to the top, so we can bail until it gets full or gets closer. Oh, I forgot to put my dropper down. Or drop my picker up or pickup header? Pickup? Baler pickup. That's what I'm looking for, sorry. Words don't work sometimes. Something about these bales, they just look cool. They're right inconvenient to have to pick up, but they look pretty neat. And I don't get to use a fancy telehandler this time. I've got to use a tractor with a bale spike on in the front loader. Right, I'll get to clean off the baler. That's the first piece of equipment I'll have cleaned off. But first, I suppose I should... Oh, 96. Is he going to make it? 97? Probably not. That's tough. Well, I'll just get the Alice a little closer. I like to wait until my equipment's done for quite a while before I clean it off. Like the planter during planting season. Once it's done with planting, that's when I'll clean it off and put it in the shed. So we'll clean off the baler because I don't have anything else to bale. I technically could be dropping straw, soybean straw, but I'm not going to. It looks way too dark brown to make sense. Like, this is like a grayish brown, and the brown that the soybean straw is on this map is really dark, so it just doesn't look great. But now I'm kind of feeling like I should, just to get more money. And I should probably keep a few bales too, because I want to get some cattle. A few bales of straw, I mean. Alright, back on a worker you go. Let's get this thing back to the field, or the farm. Which is really close. I'm not going to drop the soybean straw. I've got to still pick up all these bales. If I get done picking up these bales and I still got a fair bit of harvesting left to do, I'll probably start dropping straw and get the baler up there. So I guess let's wait. Let's wait to clean this thing off. I'll just park this. Just park this at the farm, which is right over there, but I'm going to drive on the road. How's your Wednesday been going? Middle of the way through the week. Mine was pretty good. I got to fix people's mistakes at work all day, which is pretty satisfying. Right, let's leave this thing right about here for now. Boop. And it takes a while to unhitch because you got to drag that whatever that's called, jack stand over, and then pop it down. And it's probably got the longest like detach and attach animation of any implement I've seen in this game. Dang, man, I just asked how his Wednesday was and he left. Scared him away. Okay, I don't remember if you want to be just above the center line or just below it with these bales. I'm going to try just above. Maybe he's back, I don't know. Let's try just above the center line first. Okay, picked it up, and then if I try and set it down, that felt pretty good. Let's put right under it. Pick it up and try and set it back down. Yeah, it doesn't really want to come out, it gets stuck. So we want to be above the center line, almost up to the top. For these Heston bales. And I'll do stacks of 2 or 3, I think. Welcome in, guys. Just messing around with some straw bales and soybean harvest. Okay, drop it down. These bales like to stick to the forks for some reason, so gotta be careful. Whew. Starts to pick up the back wheels. We ought to do just stacks of 2, I think. I need to get a rear weight for this thing. Oh man, that's dicey. Okay. What do I have that I could use as a weight? Let's get the Fent and grab something. I can put the baler back on there. I don't think that's a great idea, though. I could probably just use a weight as a weight, but I don't have one. I don't think the baler's heavy enough. Otherwise, I'd use that. Yeah, all I've got's a seeder and a planter other than that. Grr. Let's try the baler, I guess. No. Yeah, let's do that. I'll just buy a weight. I'm so indecisive. My apologies. I'm gonna use the vehicle delivery mod because I'm not driving for 20 minutes just to go pick up a weight and bring it back. 1150 or 1800. 1800 is too big. And that's for a 6R, 7R, okay. See, I paid some 16-year-old boy or girl to deliver this weight out to me. I paid him 30 bucks and it didn't take him that long. I paid him way more than minimum wage. Obviously I didn't, but you know, I paid 30 bucks for delivery. I'll just say I'm helping out some little teen, some young teen. They're just trying to get money for school, man. I'm being good to the community right now. My mind is scattered today. Stuttering all over this place. %40 on the harvester, so we still got plenty of time. Let's back up and grab this weight, see if it glues my back wheels to the ground. It feels a little more solid. How much do these weigh? 930 kilograms each. And this is 1150, so it's a little heavier than the bales. A little heavier than one bale, so 2 bales on top is more than the one weight on the back. Maybe I should have gone with the bigger weight. Right. Try and get this as close to the front as we can. Try and drop them down pretty square. See, they kind of slide back when you try and let them go a little bit. These things are just not great. Alright, that's not too bad. Now for the next bales. I just spent like 10 minutes getting 2 bales on the trailer. It's a good thing I own this farm and nobody's paying me by the hour, because they would be furious. Sorry y'all, I'm using a controller and it's a little touchy on the steering. If I was using my steering wheel, man, I tell you, I'd line up that bale on the first try. Ooh. Come on now. Is that gonna stick even worse than the other one did? Yikes. Alright, we're just gonna go right above the center line then. Maybe that's better. No, the bales don't really like that either. Don't fall off. There we go. Alright. Seems to be pretty decent there. Happy medium. Something like that. Get out of here, deer. You're lucky it's not hunting season. Be having me some nice venison tonight. Or at least get some deer jerky out in the field. Instead of eating crackers and peanuts. This is why I don't like using these bales. I love the baler, but the bales suck so bad. They're huge. Humongous bales, but they're just not great. Come on now. I'm nothing if not stubborn. I know you're going to get on this trailer, bud. These things could just use a little bit of work and they'd be perfect. They kind of make the trailer slide around too. See, it's kind of jackknifed now. Well, there's 4 out of 75. So I guess I got that going for me. It's gonna take forever, isn't it? What have I signed myself up for? Alright, harvester needs emptying. Let's go do that. Oh, hey, it's right here. I thought I was going to have to go all the way down the field. And when that's done, the semi will also be full, so I'll be able to take that down. I actually haven't done any driving today on the map, so that'll be nice. I got tired of it yesterday because I had to do so much. Come on, brakes. Yesterday I drove for like 45 minutes, man. I had to get all my equipment out here and then drive back twice to dump off a full load of grain. Alright, we're full. Let's peel away and go dump in the semi. Plowing this field is going to be great, because you can do that from in the cab. I like playing in the cab. I think it looks better. Sometimes. Some things it's a lot more difficult. But plowing and baling are probably my two favorite things to do in the cab. And planting if I've got ridge markers. Those are nice too. This is why I need the bigger Alice. This thing's not doing it. Well, this is full truckload number 3 on the field. All right. Let's get back to the farm, I guess. Here's that soybean straw I was talking about. It just looks way too dark brown to be coming from those beans. Good old truck, ain't it? That Jake brake thing. I brought up Loma, Montana earlier. I suppose I should finish that line of thought. I just now remembered I was talking about it. Loma, Montana, I started a couple series on it. Stopped them, but one of them I might keep going. I've thought about live streaming on there as in addition to this, just because they're so vastly different. One is a pretty flat, pretty... not boring map, but you know what I mean. It's not super exciting and hilly and stuff. That's Loma. And then Hubbard, Nebraska is the opposite. It's very, very hilly. Tons going on, tons of trees around. Wildlife everywhere. And on Sorry, I was looking over. My shoulder kind of sounded a little weird. Um, on this field, I've got old, kind of smaller equipment, but on Loma, I've got big, pretty big, nice equipment. So those telephone lines just end. That's funny. Anyways, I'm considering live streaming on Loma as well. I don't know, just let me know what you guys think about that. No promises I'll do what you say, but it is nice to know what you want. Come on, Mac, you got it, girl. Get up that hill. I like all the grass around. Like, that's a huge, just open plot of grass, and like I could put a prairie there. I could put stuff there if I wanted to, if I bought it. I wish the truck would automatically downshift to keep the Jake brake revs high, because it sounds much better up there. It sounds kind of sickly when you get low. And I doubt it does much when it's at that lower levels anyways. Doesn't sound good to like have to constantly keep upshifting. I wish I could shift to like from gear 8 down to 5, and then from 5 down to like 3 and 2 or whatever. That ain't great what I've got to do. Could probably pick up a bale or two while that's unloading into the silo. This is where that steering wheel would really shine if I could use it with the microphone. Lining these things up is a little touchy back and forth with the controller, but steering wheel, it's pretty nice. Would definitely recommend for the game if you want to make things a little more immersive. That was pretty smooth. It didn't really stick that time. I'll try the same spot with this one. I didn't get the same spot. A little lower. There we go. That felt pretty nice. These bales are sticky. Got a bit of a love-hate relationship with the baler that makes these Heston bales. I didn't quite line that up right, did I? Oops. There we go. Can't zoom in on the bales, you silly goose. Alright, that's probably good enough. I'm taking way too long on this. They're not going anywhere pretty, I'm just gonna sell them. Gosh dang it, that's so annoying, man, I tell you. They just stick, man. It's not great. I might have to get an auto load trailer just for these bales, because... goodness. That took me way too long. My truck's been sitting here waiting to unload the rest of it for a while. Need to get the Alice down to unload the combine again already. I'm gonna start opening my drinks quite a ways away from the microphone because I keep hearing them in my ears and it's annoying to me. So I bet it's annoying for you guys. Okay, Harvester, where are you? All the way down at the end of the field? Is that right? And he's going the wrong way again. Lovely. That is one of the reasons I do like course play. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But you can always make sure the pipes are towards the open end of the field if you want. And that is super nice if you're karting. Sure, these bales, they're the bane of my existence. Harvesting a giant soybean field is not pain, but this is. Come on, man. Just stay on the darn trailer. Thank you. This is pain. It's real pain. I really thought I had these figured out because last time it went pretty smooth. Maybe I'm supposed to go like just above center line. I'm kind of in between center line and the top right now. And it goes so smooth going bale on bale, but these trailers must be so smooth because it doesn't want to grab into them. Howdy, Eric. How's it going? Just messing around with straw bales like last time. This time, though, instead of making them, I'm putting them on a trailer. Isn't that something? Got your mic working again, that's good. Have you tested out the mods? No, not yet. I was getting ready for the stream when we were chatting, so probably do that after the stream. Test them out, make sure they work well and stuff. I will. I'll let you know what you think. What I think. Welcome in, everyone. We're doing soybean harvest on a field that is much too large for my tiny little combine. You're working on mod maps, making them or finding them, because that's a big difference. Making a mod map, I'm sure, takes a lot of time. It's not a tiny combine. It's got a 30-foot header and 400 horsepower, but still, it's kind of small. Making them, really? Awesome. You doing that for FS25, I assume, or still trying to get them out for FS22? Let's get this thing back up to the field. '22. Gotcha. Do you plan on getting 2025 when it comes out? Or are you the kind of guy that buys it every few generations instead of every single one? That's what I've been doing up until this point. Played 2013, then 2017, and then 2022. What are your mod maps gonna be, if you don't mind sharing? Some people like to keep those secret, but I think they're pretty cool. Oh, you already got it? You already got 25 pre-ordered? Nice, nice. $80 pre-order. Does that mean you got the collector's edition? I think the normal game is $50. I could be wrong though. Or whatever. I don't know if it's the collector's edition or more. Something else. Not more. I haven't decided if I want the collector's edition or not. Jennifer, what map? This is Hubbard, Nebraska. It's a 16x map for PC only. 16x meaning it's 16 kilometers by 16 kilometers, or 256 square kilometers, or 64 times the size of a normal map. It's a Wisconsin map, Illinois map, and an Indiana map. Nice, Eric. Are they going to be normal size maps or 4x maps or what? How big will they be? But Jennifer, this map has a ton of corn and beans. In fact, every single field was corn and beans when I started. I planted a couple with wheat for the farm. Pretty hilly, super big. And I'm doing some older equipment, as is clear from my semi. Wisconsin and Illinois are 4x. That'll be cool. Be sure to let me know about those when they're ready to go. I'll play on them. Any states I would want you to make a mod map for? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any New York maps. You wouldn't think of New York as much of a farming state, but outside of the big cities, it's a lot of farming, and it's pretty cool, honestly. Northeast farms, that'd probably be what I would go for. Not because that's my favorite farming, but just because it's unique, and I don't know if other people have necessarily made them. You think there is one? What's the name of it? Do you know? That might be fun to try out. There's a New Jersey map? Yeah, I thought so. I forget what that's called. Pretty similar, I guess. I think it starts with an E. Eastfield, New Jersey, something like that. That's not the name. It's annoying. My memory is just good enough to remember some parts of it, but not the whole thing. Is it Eastfield? I'm playing Farming Simulator. I could just back out and check, but I don't want to keep harvesting, so I won't. You just started the game up? Awesome. Thank you. The nice part of soybeans is because they yield low, I can actually do other stuff while I'm waiting for the combine to fill up, but when we start doing corn, man, I'm gonna be just pretty much just driving the Alice to unload the combine, then driving it to fill up the... Oh shoot, accidentally shifted into neutral. I'm gonna be, yeah, just driving the Alice to fill up, unload the combine, then fill up the semi, then driving the semi to the farm and then back, and it's just gonna be bonkers, man. Maybe it won't yield as high as I think it will, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty intensive. Come on, baby, you got it. Make it up the hill. I got better things to do than go 4 mile an hour up hills. Oop, don't want to take out any beans. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I think we're over the crest of the hill. East Vineland, that's right. Yeah, I suppose that'd be pretty similar to New York, wouldn't it? What about like a map in Atlanta, or not Atlanta, sorry, Georgia, or like Florida? I'm not sure what kind of farming they do down there. Or a California. There's probably some California maps. You could farm just about anything there. How much time have you spent making your maps, Eric, and how close do you think they are to being done? Georgia sounds good. Three months. That's a long time. They're all about a third done, so... Dang, that's almost a year for 3 mod maps. That's pretty crazy. Although I guess you're probably not doing that all day. Not sure how much time you'd be doing that every day. Started adding buildings and some textures. Nice. Depends on the day. Yeah, I feel that. That's me with so many things. Usually work 3 to 4 hours on them. That's impressive. Some days I'm super excited to do things, and others, like literally the next day, I can just be like, I don't really want to do that. Funny, if it's ever like late at night, like on a weekend or something, and I'm feeling like starting a new farming simulator playthrough, I'll pick a new map, set up a farm. I'll spend like sometimes even like 5 or 6 hours, just stay up all night playing on it, and then I never play the map ever again. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like so into it that night, and I never play it again. The Elm Rochester, what's that? Is that Eric? New York? Okay. Is that on Mod Hub or somewhere else? I think the only farming I've seen in New York was from Big... What's his name? Big Tractor Power. One of my favorite farming YouTubers. Big Tractor Power showed some oxbow, I think it was oxbow, sweet corn harvesters on a field in New York, and that was pretty cool. Arius? They may have been. As I say, my memory's good sometimes, but others not so much. I don't know if Arius is a brand that makes them or not. I feel like it sounds familiar, though. How's it going, everyone? How's your Wednesday been? Mine's doing pretty good because work was chill and I get to mess around with straw bales. Oops. I'm not sure that bale's going to want to come off very well. Let's get that out of here. Bales are probably the stickiest bales I've ever worked with. They just don't want to work for me. Let's get the fent down here. Didn't have much going on either. I didn't get called in today, so I was working on the Bobcat. Nice. How many days out of the week do you usually work? If that's what you're talking about, I assume it is. Some weeks 3, some weeks 7, yeah. That's farming. I haven't worked a 7-day week ever, but I feel like that would be pretty extreme. You definitely have to love your job to be able to do that and enjoy it. Just finished harvest, I assume that'd be wheat then? You're waiting on beans now? Oops, my harvester's full. I get to talking and forgetting about everything else I'm doing. At least he's on the correct side of the field. The pipe's facing towards the open area, not the crop. If you hear any squeaking in the background, that's my folding chair. High-tech gaming chair right there. Old kitchen folding chair. Sitting, I got a blanket on top of it as an extra cushion. You gotta start somewhere, right? 3 fields of beans, 2 that are small, and a big 279-acre field. That is a big field. What kind of harvesting kit do you guys use? You'd be looking almost 400, around 400 acres total. It's about half what my grandpa did. 2 combines? Which ones? What size? Give me the deets, bro. Medium and a large one. So you get through your fields pretty quick then, or not? I assume not really if you said you do 7-day weeks sometimes. Yeah, they chop it up. Good. Do you guys... How late do you guys usually harvest? Up in Illinois, right? Iowa, it's usually around the beginning of October to mid-October sometimes. Last year it was like late September even, so it was a pretty early start. Of course, you know, wheat would start in the summer, I guess, but just talking corn and beans right now. Early July for corn harvest? Dang, do you guys run... That's a weird schedule. Not weird, it's just different. Different to what I'm used to. That's cool. Wheat late to early August and beans late August, early September. So yeah, you're... In Iowa, it's a pretty big gap between the wheat harvest, which is pretty rare. There's not much wheat here. I'm not here anymore, actually. I don't live in Iowa anymore. You plant real quick, I bet. But wheat finishes up around... Most of the wheat's done around here, actually. And it's not even August yet. And then, yeah, as I said, the corn and beans usually start... Usually you can start some fields of beans, but it won't all be ready. Some of the fields that are drier will be ready late September, early October. So what would that be? A good 2.5 month gap there? Sometimes even 3 months. Just enough time to go and take a good vacation and then get everything set up for the big harvest. I think I heard a stat once that it was 97% of the farmland in Iowa is corn and beans, so that leaves 3% for wheat, sorghum, millet, whatever else. I could be wrong. It's all hearsay. You haven't gotten a lot of rain, but the crops are blown up. That's good. Not a lot of rain can make farmers nervous sometimes. How heavy is this for this Fendt? If this Fendt can't pull this, I'm going to sell it, because that's literally the only job I have for this thing. Illinois, you almost never see sorghum. Yeah, I haven't seen it much before it got put in this game, and then I kind of see it around. They have a fair bit of sorghum in Kansas, actually. That's where I'm chilling. If it can do around 15, I'm good with that. Oh, it's got to save now. Buckled up, everyone. It takes a while. Go west for sorghum, yeah. They do a lot of that in Australia too, I've seen. Okay, so for the best price on straw, I have a lot of north neighbors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 north neighbors, 2 south neighbors, 2 central neighbors, and the animal dealer. Looks like best price is that north neighbor. Let's see where that's at. I'm not really seeing this. Ton of wheat in the west, yeah. There is a lot. Okay, it looks like all the north neighbors are up here. Not really fancy and going all the way out there. Central neighbors are pretty close. We might have to go there. South neighbors are right there. And central neighbors are right there. Okay. So central is definitely the closest, but if the south pays a lot more, I'll go to the south instead. We've got 259. That's the second highest. I'm going there. Tag place, $259 per 1,000 liters. So I'm going to go to the fork, turn right, and carry that all the way up until the junction. I'll turn left. Let's do it. And this thing is not going to be very fast, so don't get your hopes up. Oh, I should check on my harvester. 42%? Alright. Turn that off. Trying to save fuel. Don't like having things sitting idling if I'm not using them. A little nervous this thing's not going to have the juice needed, but we're going 20 right now. Slight incline. Still accelerating slightly, so that's good. That's a good sign. The only thing this Fendt is good for is the bales. It's just moving the bales around. That's nothing else. No other agenda. So if it's not cutting it, I'm just going to sell it and use the John Deere. I suppose if I got like a pull-behind sprayer, I could use this, but I've got a sprayer right as of right now. Only reason I'd sell the sprayer is if for some reason it can't refill on spray. Some sprayers have issues with that. Pretty good day so far here on Hubbard, Nebraska. A little cloudy. Got a nice glow over there from the sun that'll burn your eyes if you look too close. Soybean harvest is going smoothly, if not taking forever. And we're taking our first trailer full of bales from our wheat harvest to go and sell it. I'm interested to see how much we're going to make, but this is 16 bales. I've got over 100, I believe. Excuse me. 99, so not over 100, not quite. But that means we're going to need to do 6 and a quarter of these, I believe, if my maths are correct. So we can, once we get our first price, we can kind of multiply it by 6 in our heads and see what we're going to get. This is an absolutely huge map, man. It takes a while to do anything. I don't know why I punished myself by wanting to do it with smaller equipment, but I'm here for it, I guess. I don't know. It's been going well. Looking forward to running some cattle and yeah, just carrying on, getting bigger equipment. Sorry, had a brain fart there. It happens on occasion. You'll figure it out when you listen to me long enough. I rant about some things. I lose track of what I'm saying in the middle of it. It's not the speed, it's the experience that counts. That's right. Hopefully with experience comes speed, though. Oh, you're just talking about the farming experience. Yeah, I thought you were talking about working. You know, like if an experienced guy does better work than someone who does it fast. I guess both are true. Using small equipment makes you appreciate the large equipment. That's right, yeah. And we've been getting quite a bit of large equipment coming out or will come out soon, so feels like the perfect time to be doing this. What with the Case 715 coming out, John Deere's got some humongous John Deere's coming out soon. New generation of Case and New Holland harvesters. It's a good time to be alive in the farming community. Someone that does it fast doesn't do it good. If they do it too fast, some people are good and fast. That's the kind of people that can make bank. You see the trailer for FS25? I did. I've closely followed DJ Goham, farming, or Fast, what's his name? Farm Sim Guy. I'm Fast Farmer, that's nobody else. Farm Sim Guy, DJ Goham, and I think Clutch Simulations are 3 channels I've watched. Just about every episode they've put out about FS25 at FarmCon, all the trailers and everything. Quite excited for it. I'm a little worried it might be too much for my computer to run at any level of high graphic quality, but it'll be good. You want to try rice farming? Yeah, I actually did. There's a map called Italian Rice Lands on the in-game mod hub that I did some rice, but it's nothing like what the new game's going to look like. Not near as good. I've always thought it's a little weird because, like, very early on, maybe like 2022, 2023, early on in this game, somebody put out a mod with a rice harvester. It's a Case IH, I think it was a 7250. It's got rice wheels and all that. It's called Rice version, Case 7250 Rice version, I think. And there was never a map to do rice. I downloaded the mod right away because I was like, oh, that's cool. I can do rice, but there was never rice. Until like a few months ago, a rice map came out, so I got to try it out. You're testing your mods in multiplayer, and you got to find the ones that are lagging my game. Does that mean you have to find them, or you did find them? Got kind of works in two ways there. Whether it's I got to or I've got to. You change 2 letters out and suddenly the meaning of the word changes. You have to find them? Yeah. Okay. I'm not really sure how this works. I might have to do super strength and throw these things in there, unfortunately. I've never sold bales on this map. Breaks the immersion for sure. But yeah, they're not selling, so let's do that. I apologize if you don't like super strength, but I'm not driving another tractor out here to sell these. Oh, they're gonna sell super slow here, aren't they? Cripes, I forgot about that. I knew it too. They sell. I heard they sell slow. I didn't know it was this slow. So I might want to just dump a few bales in each of the neighbors. I mean, it's right there. I can just toss a couple in there. Not sure how much worse of a price it is. Hey, I made $0 for bales. Look at that. Yeah, this ain't gonna work for 100 bales. Animal dealer should take them all right away, but it pays less than half. That's what's killing me. Oh, it's not that much further away. Let's do that. I'll just pack these back on here. I'll just leave one bale in each of those to sell. Come on now, stay on there. Good. Let's get this thing turned around. Looks like there's a spot up here I can. If the animal dealer needs like a forklift or something to unload the bales, I'll just bring the John Deere next time because it's got the front forks on it. Or I guess I could put front forks on this thing too. I don't like using super strength for that type of thing, but sometimes I have to. Back from whence we came. Oh, I forgot the harvester's full. That's the primary objective of today, is to get this thing done. I need to make sure I'm keeping up on that. Probably only 1 or 2 more semi-fulls from this field. But again, we could be looking at a 600 to literally $1 million harvest. You're gonna do something, you'll be back in a minute. Hey, you're all good, Eric. I just heard that back. My voice echoed a little bit because I had my drink up to my mouth. It's funny. Get this thing whipped around and be able to unload the harvester. It is really nice doing... Oh, there's those bad brakes. We're on a downhill. Now I can drive a little bit while it's unloading, and then try and check back in a minute-ish. It's nice doing soybeans because they take a while to fill up the hopper on the harvester. Be able to unload these in a little bit. First load of bales. I already took off a couple, but the first couple sell points I went to weren't what I was expecting. Are we getting on the highway here? Wow. Haven't been on that yet. This looks like something I could go 100 mile an hour with a header trailer on and be just fine. Oh, there's actually traffic. That's the first car I've seen on this map. How's it going, buddy? See you later, I guess. Guess I should pull kind of on the shoulder a little bit so they can go through without fear of a bale toppling on them. You guys ever worry about that when you see a tractor rolling by with bales on its trailer? They're bouncing around, they might fall off and hit you. They look all fluffy, but they are solid as a rock and quite heavy. Literally almost 2,000 pounds for each bale here. There's just something about seeing massive fields in the distance, man. Literally fading out into the fog. That's dope. This is my first time seeing the animal dealer as well. Whenever I get my cows, I'll be coming back here. Looks pretty neat. This looks like a cattle dealer I actually see pretty often whenever I drive up to Iowa. I forget the name of it, but it's got this kind of layout to it. Ooh, I jackknifed my trailer. Good thing it's a video game. 15 grand. I'm gonna do six of these trailers full, a little over 6. So what's that gonna be? 90,000, is that right? 90,000 bucks, I think. Quick maths are hard. That'll be enough to buy my new tractor I want to get, but nothing more. Oh, dang it, guys. Why didn't you remind me? I was supposed to only go for like a minute and then get back to this. I'm just kidding. That is what a easily distractible mind does. I'm either hyper fixated on one thing and not thinking about anything else, or I can't focus at all, bouncing all over the place. I like to think of it as a strength. Some people might think of it as a weakness. I'm not sure exactly how it's a strength. I haven't figured that out, but I'll get back to you guys. These fields are huge. I can't get over it. Shoot, my truck's gonna be full again. I don't really want to drive it back right now. I should, though. I should drive it back. I'll get the Fent back, and then I'll drive the semi down. Here we go. Nobody's coming, so we're good to go. I'm literally so excited for when I can get really big harvesting machines out in these massive fields. Do like a 10-hour live stream on a Saturday or something and just go to work at harvest time. That'd be cool. Get a couple of my friends in here and harvest. A couple of you guys, maybe. That would be pretty cool. Just driving back to the farm to pick up some more straw bales. Working on soybean harvest and collecting straw bales from last month's wheat harvest. I've heard this map wasn't finished. It's just pretty much he decided my point is the riverbeds are dry. I would like them to have water in them. But I heard it wasn't finished because the person who makes it heard that Farming Simulator 25 was coming out in 4 months. So basically just polished this map up pretty well and sent it out so people could play it. And decided that he'll get it perfect for FS25, which honestly ain't a bad idea. Excuse me. Don't spend a whole bunch of time making it perfect for a game that's gonna be done soon. Not done, but you know, I'm guessing the player base for FS22 is gonna drop quite a bit when FS25 comes out. Y'all don't mind doing me a favor and hitting the like button so other people can get on in here and see this. That'd be pretty cool. The more of you guys there are in here, the easier it is for me to talk. I don't have to talk to myself. I can talk to others. Certainly makes it more entertaining for me, if not for you guys. Sorry, I had my phone on my desk. I have a bad habit of doing that, and it vibrates. As phones do. Texting and driving isn't smart, but Farming Simulator 25 is my exception. It also helps that there's no cops in this game, or pedestrians to hit, anything like that. Those are definite deterrents of texting and driving in person. Y'all should count yourselves lucky. You're going to get to hear my semi pretty soon. It sounds good. I'm going to hit a tree, aren't I? I think I'm in someone's bean field right now. Oh, that was close. That autosave takes way too long. Right, so if I can't find a cattle barn anywhere on the map close enough, you know, I don't want to drive 20 minutes to go see my cows every day. If I can't find one close enough to my farm, this grassland right here, I'll buy that. Oh, it's almost 500 grand, dang. I'll buy this grass field, plop down a big cow barn and some, I'll probably plow up some fields for alfalfa and grass and whatnot. So I'm already making... See how I already make plans for something that's probably a week away in real time? Just excited, man. What can I say? Very nearly back to the farm. That's my driveway to go up to my house. Ooh, do I still have that place tagged? I can get rid of that. Untagged place. Here she is if y'all haven't seen the farm. It's just a shed and a silo. It'll grow. Give it time. So with everything I've done on the bales, I've got to do it 5 more times. But now I should have a better understanding of how the bales function. They won't stick as hard to my forks. Uh-oh. Full again. Let's go unload real quick. Just to keep the harvester working, that is the main priority. We're getting there, man. That is a lot. That's looking a lot better than it was at the start of the stream. Granted, it's been an hour and a half-ish. Oops, I got my phone. My phone is my second monitor, if I haven't said that yet. I don't have the money or space for 2 screens on my desk, so I use my phone, and that's how I read chat and make sure my voice doesn't sound too quiet or too loud and the game audio sounds decent. Just about full. I need to get a bigger grain cart, man. I can't even take 2 full loads on the combine. Back up to the semi. See you later, Bob. Oh. Worker D? We'll call him Dylan. Could come up with some interesting name. Like Destiny if it was a girl. Or like Drevin, Drusco, something like that. But I like Dylan. Donatello. That's what I'll call him. His name is Donatello. Not after the turtle, after one of my coworkers. Goes by Donnie, but his name is Donatello. Well, there goes my tea. It's all gone. Pretty good. Lipton iced peach tea. Appreciate the likes, by the way. I think I got 1 or 2 when I asked for them. It's literally the best way to let me know that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. Here's your treat. We're gonna hear the Mac all the way back home. See if we can't get going like 60 by the time we get to the bottom of the hill. Doesn't look likely. There's 50. We're gonna have to turn before too long. 53, 54. Oh man, she's cooking. Yeah, we'll let off. I don't like taking these corners too fast. Even though I probably could. If I was using my steering wheel, I'd be more confident. What do y'all think about long play / ASMR farming videos? Like if I were to just record this entire live stream without me talking, like, ooh, don't hit the deer. Oh, he ran into me. If I were to just record this and cut out the audio, post it on the channel, or a second channel or something, I realize it's not everyone's cup of tea. I want to figure out what I want to do with these videos, because obviously I'm live streaming, but it'd be cool if I could make a video at the same time with it, just in case you guys want to see what's going on with the farm, but you don't want to sit there and watch a 3-hour live stream every day or however often I stream. Do like a 10-15 minute episode or something. Of course, once I get enough of these live streams, I'll just be able to go to sleep to them. With this one, I'll have almost 7 hours of total recording time. I guess that's a polite way of saying someone's voice is boring. I go to sleep to your content all the time. Thanks, I guess. This may be one of my favorite Jake breaks on modded trucks that I've driven. Some of them are just way too much. Others are not enough. This one could use some work, but it's decent. Yeah, the accelerating sound is not super great, but it's decent, I guess. This is such a goofy looking tractor, man. I chuckle to myself every time I get in because it's just my dude sitting in a tiny little tractor. I gotta hurry to get this truck back to my harvester because it's almost half full. It'll take a while to drive, and my auger wagon's full, so... Whoops, I punched my desk. Do this whole drive in first person. Just... I might have to just use modded trucks, because they sound better and look better, and they're just cooler than the base game trucks, for the most part. Oh boy. My behind's getting a little sore on this chair. Corn looks good. It always looks the same though. That'd be cool if we could get a farming simulator game with varied looking crops. Some of them look really good in some fields and not so good in others. I feel like that's a little too advanced for farming simulator right now to make that jump in one game or two games or something. We don't even have different yields based on different, weather factors and everything. But once we do get varied yields, it'd be cool to see the crops look different depending on the yield and stuff too. Look a little sickly if it's been dry, look pretty lush and green if it's been perfect. If it's pretty windy, see the crops kind of laying over a little bit, that'd be dope. And I'd like more than like 5 growth stages for the crops too. Give me like 25 or something. Let me see a change in it every single month or every single, I don't know. 25 is probably a bit much. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, there are 2 more live streams you can watch that were before this one. Just go to the live section of my channel. I also had another live stream like a year and a half ago, but I don't know if even I would watch that one. Maybe it's fine, I don't know. I think it was on Upper Mississippi River Valley, too. Pretty good map, that one. Hey, what did we say we were going to call him? Donatello? The harvester? Not quite full yet. Well, we've made it good. Hey, Eric, welcome back. Nothing's really changed. I don't recall if you were there for me selling my straw or not, but I got 15,000 bucks for it. Oh, you were there when I decided to switch? Yep. Didn't take super long to get there, and I made 15 grand. So when I do the other 5 loads, I should make a total of around $90,000. Which will be pretty decent. In terms of Farming Simulator, it'll be decent. If it was real life and you're making 90 grand off a straw, you're doing pretty good. Although I guess there might be some farms, huge corporate farms, that might make that much. I don't know. I don't really follow the price of straw very closely these days. I see hay for like $5-6 a bale around here. But that varies a lot based on location. I'm not sure what straw would be at. I guess I'm driving my harvester up to meet the Alice instead of the other way around. I think I'll do some more harvesting. I like to vary things up and switch them around. And I'll keep the pipe on the outside of the field the whole time, once I get up to the top of the field. I guess I can shut off the Alice. Alright. Almost there, almost there. There we go. Back at it again. To do multiplayer, you just go to multiplayer, select your save you want. The other person has to have the same mods as you. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, it sounds like. Yeah, I've never done multiplayer, but I would like to. I have heard and seen that it is quite fun, yeah. Nothing makes a game better than playing with your friends. It's tough to play big maps like this solo, which is what I've been doing for years. Most of the public servers are random. I don't know if I would enjoy random servers or not. I mean, I know, like, not the servers themselves, the people on the servers. Sometimes they're crazy and sometimes they're not. Bucks County, how big is that map? Is that a 4X? Nice. It's the stock one? What does that mean? Still kind of large. Okay. Oh, stock map size. I'm chomping on cashews, by the way. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. Stock map size is 2x, technically. 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. Sounds yummy. Yeah, they're alright. I think I prefer peanuts to cashews, but it's fine. I got peanuts last time, so I had to change it up and get cashews this time. Same here. Hey man, you know what they say about great minds? They think alike. Technically, if I was doing this super realistic, I'd want to be offset the angle that these were planted by like 15, 30 degrees. Makes it go into the separator knives easier. But I don't have GPS, and workers don't really work well on 30-degree angles. They work really great on 90 degrees and 270 degrees. Wait, no, that's the same. 0 degrees and 90 degrees work great for the workers. Just a little bit of beans. It's really hard to see your beans from the top down when you spread straw down. When I get GPS, I might be able to run that realistic 15-30 degree offset. How well does your multiplayer server do, Eric? Is it pretty tough to keep people in line and doing what you want them to do, or do they just kind of do what they want? Oh, it's private. Is that the one you want to play with me on? Bucks County? Just you and your buddies. Got it. Yeah, man, ideally I'd like to eventually have a server that my viewers could play with me on. But so far you're the only one that's indicated interest, so I could play on your server, that'd be fine. Crazy to think we're almost done with this field. I've been working on it for like 4 hours. Even though I haven't been working on it, it's been a AI helper for most of it. It would be an honor to have one of my favorite YouTubers on my farm. Well, hey, I appreciate that. Glad you've enjoyed my content. And it would be an honor to participate in my first multiplayer server with you. I assume it's much better to play with someone who wants to play with you than trying to drag family members into it that don't really want to. It was free on Epic a few weeks ago, and I had a bunch of people download it because I wanted if they ever wanted to, they'd be able to play with me. But I think only my dad and sister and my fiance downloaded it. I may have gotten a second Epic account just to download it too. Maybe if I ever get a second computer, I could play with myself on my account. Steam and Epic at the same time, that'd be cool. I think it'd be neat to have a server with a bunch of people that love the game. You know they play it, 10 plus hours a week, you know they're going to be into it and stuff. Doing like a gigantic server like Spring Creek or something, a 36x map, the biggest map I've ever heard of. I think the Farm Sim guy has a server. He doesn't really play on it, but he's got his viewers have a server together, and they have like a 2,400 acre field or something crazy like that. You play 5 hours a day, that's pretty good. I used to pull numbers like that. Or try to, yeah. I'm juggling right now 3 games I play pretty regularly, so I can't do 5 hours on Farming Simulator, but I try to do 2 or 3. It's funny because the games I play are quite different. I play Farming Simulator, which is like really slow-paced and relaxing, lets your brain relax and stuff. And then I also really enjoy Forza Horizon 5, which is a racing game. Literally, it's fast-paced. Everything is about speed in that game. And then I also play Minecraft, which is, it's not fast-paced necessarily unless you're playing hardcore, which I guess I am. But it's different. Like your mind is engaged because you're trying to be creative and make artwork with it instead of just farming. One thing that's always been true about me is I love variety. I also play some first-person shooter games, but not right now. I'm taking a break from those just because I don't have the time. There's 80% full. Dropping frames like wild. Hopefully it's not showing up too bad on stream. Second to last pass, here we go. Gonna unload whenever I see the Alice, and then I'll turn around and unload again at the top. I may have to break out the softening landscape tool and hit this field, all my fields with it really. I like the hills, but sometimes the valleys are a little too aggressive. My harvester header can't quite fit the contours of the land. So softening them up a bit might help, but I'm not sure. We might be able to do just one pass here for most of this last bit. I'm not super excited to drive all the equipment back to the farm when we're done with this field. Maybe I'll have to do that tomorrow, or the next day, or whatever. Whoops. Gave the auger wagon a little love tap. It'll buff. Getting there, man. Home stretch. Refuel this thing once we get done. I think my fuel trailer could probably fill this thing up like 5 times before it was empty, which is pretty good. Because it's a long drive into the gas station, so the more times I can fill up the combine in between, the better. Grab these little bits here on the side that I missed the first time around. I didn't miss them, the field is just shaped weird and sometimes can't quite hit it. See? I drove right over them and it didn't get them. I hit it a different way. Oh, I clipped the fence again. I did that the first time I tried that. Just about finished up, guys. Feels good to say that, but we've got a big, long corn harvest to do next. I think I'm just going to drive the equipment straight to the cornfields instead of driving it all the way back. Obviously, I'll have to take the header trailer because I don't need the bean header anymore. Or wait. I have that soybean field right by my farm, don't I? Ah, now it's time for the big long autosave. Yeah, I've got this tiny little soybean field right there. But I can harvest soybeans for a while. All the way until January, assuming it doesn't snow too bad and kill them off. So I'll probably leave that one until I actually bring all the equipment back for the winter. I got any specs left over on the field? Yeah, one down there by the truck. I'll have to go and pick that back up. I feel like there should be music playing, dude. This is monumental. I'm finishing my soybean field. And it's done. Oh yeah. I guess I still have a tiny bit left way over here, but it's basically done. What a good looking field. And as long as that took, there are much, much, much larger fields on this map. Like literally almost 10 times the size of this one. A couple. If you were to join, I just started this farm, but would a 2017 Chevy Silverado dually work? It depends on what I'm doing. For driving around, it sounds like a mighty fine truck, but if I'm trying to harvest, I feel like a Chevy Silverado wouldn't work the best. But I want strobe lights. Yeah, I like strobe lights. $3,500 HD farmhand. Sounds good to me. I don't know why I'm putting my pipe out. I gotta refuel here. If you're quiet, you can hear the fuel, but that's the only indication anything's changing. You got a 3500 Cummins? Lucky you. Well, it depends on the year, actually. Some generations I prefer the Chevy to the Dodge, but others I prefer the... I guess now it's Ram, not Dodge. Some I prefer the Dodge, some I prefer the Chevy. Like, it's hard to beat a first-gen Dodge Cummins. My cousin's got one. I'm a little jelly of him. Not really, just... it's cool. I see it and it's cool. I'm not like, oh, I want that. It's purple, too. I love purple. A newer Cummins? Yeah. I think, like, brand new, I prefer Chevy to Dodge Ram, but, maybe like 2015, that generation. I don't know if that's 4th gen or 5th gen. I'd prefer the Dodge. It's my favorite truck. My favorite truck of all time is the old 50s Ram Power Wagons. I think I'd say that's probably my favorite. 2015 is 4th gen, yeah, so I prefer the 4th gen Dodge over whatever Chevys were out at the time. You've got a 5th gen, nice. My grandpa's got a 5th gen. I've never driven a Chevy. I don't know why I prefer them, but yeah, I guess it's just straight looks. As a work truck, they look pretty mean. My grandpa's got a 2500 Cummins. A nice deep blue. But he gets new trucks pretty often. Let's drive the old Butte up to the header trailer. Got a 1500 Bighorn with A V6 and Deadpool stickers. You like Deadpool? You seen the new one? I haven't yet. I liked the other two though. How well does that V6 work? I imagine you get better gas economy than a big gasser would. V6 will probably have more torque than a... Well, no, I think a V8 would have more torque. Normal. Your mother's truck. Nice. My mom doesn't have a truck, she drives a Chevy Traverse. Now that's a mom car right there. Pretty nice cars though, they handle well in the ice and snow if you got the all-wheel drive on it. You told her to get a V8, she wants the V6. Whoa, I threw my combine, I need to turn off super strength. Hold this puppy up. Yeah, trucks tend to be pretty front heavy, which ain't a bad thing if you're in high school, I guess. People like to do burnouts and whatnot, which is kind of annoying. Makes the parking lot look gross. I'd rather they do it elsewhere, not on the parking lot. I'm a fan of burnouts. I don't want to sound like I'm a fun killer, but probably not at the end of school when everyone's walking on the parking lot. I'd rather not get hit by a truck. Do your burnouts in your neighbor's cornfields and on the public roads where you won't hit high schoolers. Assuming your neighbor's fine with that. I don't want you going in your neighbor's cornfield if they don't want you there. Come on. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. We did it. Over the hill and down the next one. Yeah, I don't think very many neighbors would appreciate people in their cornfield, especially if there's corn in it. They have a smaller farm. Yeah, every acre counts then. I'm sure there's probably some guys that wouldn't mind if the corn's off the field, having some fun on there. I know I've been, my great uncle, he's like 7 foot tall. We call him, actually we don't have a nickname for him, that's a different guy. But yeah, he's like 7 foot tall. He had an old 3500 with the work bed on the back. And he called it corn surfing. We were harvesting a big cornfield. The combine and grain trailer are all the way over on one end. The semi's way over on the other. And he came by and picked up a couple of us. And it was a manual, and he floored it. And by the time we got to the other end of the field, we were going like 60 on the, and you know how the corn is, right? The rows make it so you bounce up and down pretty good, and it felt like surfing, apparently. That's what he said anyways, so that was fun. To me, it was just a really fast, bumpy truck ride, but apparently to him it was surfing. Surfing the rows. We get a gator or a tool cat. Sure. I don't really use a lot of vehicles in my saves, but if that's the way you play, I'm cool with that. I've usually got a truck to pull around header trailers, maybe two. If I've got like multiple combines, I'll have a truck for every combine. You play realistic? I do that sometimes, but there's different levels of realistic you can play. I don't like speed farming or anything like that, even though my name is Fast Farmer, which is a little contradictory, I guess. Funny, one of my favorite YouTubers to watch is DJ Goham Gaming, and he only uses speed farms. He's always playing unrealistic, but I don't like to play that way. I just like to watch it, I guess. Almost Pure, are you the guy who plays first-person view all the time and never tabs around, has to walk or drive everywhere? Or are you not quite that gung-ho? You try? Wow. That's cool. I would do it a lot more if I wasn't recording. When I don't record, I do first person a lot more. You still tab, okay. Try to keep it real, yeah, I feel that. I go back and forth. Sometimes I want to be like as realistic as possible, and other times I'm like, ah, what the heck. I'll grow olives in Iowa, that's fine. Throw some sugarcane in there too. That's pretty rare though, I don't do a lot of those crops. Down to go on a call just to see what you mean. I gotta get off in like 5 minutes, but we could do that tomorrow. Got somewhere I gotta be, it's 30 minutes away, and that's 7:40, so. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to play, try out a new style. I don't really do the hyper realistic, but yeah, I don't know. It's not that much different than what I do, I guess. I know some people are crazy realistic. They don't tab around, they don't teleport. They like to have like mods to make things more realistic, like whenever they pump silage or fuel, they have to have a hose that they connect up manually, and they have manual attach and stuff. At that point, I don't know, it might be fun to try sometimes, but I want to play the game the way I enjoy it. And for the most part, it doesn't involve that. I think it is really cool that the game attracts that many different players, though. Like, some people enjoy hyper-realism, and some people enjoy 200-meter wide combine headers and going 60 miles an hour while planting their crop. Like, it's just a big difference. But you can still enjoy it all in the same game, which is cool. Alright, well, tomorrow is when I'm going to have to get all these things packed up. Because I got to get going. Thanks for checking out the stream and chatting with me, Eric. Hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Peace. And as has become custom, it's the awkward moment where I gotta actually leave and end stream. See you later.